Hey friends, thanks for joining us for this special edition of Facebook Live at Gingsburg. Throughout this season, we're just trying to create some content that would be helpful for each of us in this kind of strange season that we find ourselves in here in March of 2020. Today, I'm getting an opportunity to sit down with the executive director at New Creation Counseling Center, and just hear from her. Name's Kincaid. Kind of learn from her how we can navigate this season, and wanted to get some helpful content for our entire community around mental health, emotional health, how to be well in this season. How to care for ourselves and for our families. So thanks for tuning in. Kitty, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for inviting me to be here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome to have you. Talk to us just a little bit about New Creation
sure.
Counseling Center, as well as your role there.
Okay. Well, I'm the director of New Creation Counseling Center. We are a community mental health center. We are Christian focused in that our counselors there are Christian, all of our staff's Christian, and we see all people, regardless of faith, regardless of their ability to pay. And so we're there to provide counseling and psychiatry services for your emotional needs.
That's awesome. And as
Yeah.
director, what is your role in this season, at least?
Yeah. Well, in this season, it's trying to figure out life.
Yeah,
We really want to serve the community, and we know this is a hard season for people. So my role these days is just making sure we're available to you.
yeah.
That's true all the time, but especially right now, we want to be available to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone at the title of this conversation
Uh-huh.
kind of piqued someone's interest and they're in kind of a
Mhm.
moment of crisis right this very moment,
Right.
even before we dig into other helpful content today, who can
Mhm.
they call at New Creation? How can they get
Sure.
connected with New Creation
Hey,
today?
call us. We are open.
Okay.
Okay, call us. And we are there to serve you. You
Yeah.
don't have to be an existing client. If you've never called anyone before, you can call us today. Our number is 937-667-4678, or you can go to our website. It's New Creation Counseling Center. Creation is singular, newcreationcounselingcenter.org.
Okay.
And there's some places in there that you can contact us. Just send us a little thing, say, hey, I want to talk, and someone will contact you by phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's
There's
awesome.
also other places around the community.
Sure.
You can do 211, that's United Way helpline. There's suicide prevention lines. There's off-hours crisis centers in every community.
Okay.
And you can just Google those. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Talk a little bit with us today about anxiety. As I've talked with several
Yeah.
friends, one friend shared about how their heart began to kind of pound when they were at the grocery store. They kind of found themselves like, why am I getting like uptight because some product that I was looking for isn't there?
Yeah.
Another friend that just shared with me that I asked them, hey, how are you feeling? And they said that they felt like they felt small. They felt the
Yeah.
anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Those are things that are very real. So talk a little bit about anxiety, because I think people are feeling that or some version of that.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about anxiety from your perspective as a mental health professional.
Sure. Yeah. Well, anxiety is, let's face it, it's a very normal reaction. Everybody knows what it feels like
Mhm.
because it is kind of a physical reaction, isn't it? You do feel like your breathing gets shallow or maybe more rapid, your heart beats, you feel queasiness in your stomach, you might feel hot. You might feel all those symptoms that kind of like, oh my gosh, is this anxiety or is this the coronavirus,
Right.
I mean, it feels
Right.
kind of like that, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. And other words that might describe it is worried or nervous,
Mhm.
but it's a very uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just comes from who knows where. We're not even thinking that we're thinking or that we're being worried or we're thinking about something. And all of a sudden we just feel it. So it literally could just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
So what do we do when we find ourselves in that situation, whether it's something, some of us have struggled with this for seasons and we already know that it's a thing, right, in our lives. Some of us, when we hear words like pandemic and outbreak and
Mhm.
kind of some those can be trigger words for us. If we find ourselves experiencing some of the things that you just said,
Mhm. Yes.
and it's not the flu or any other viruses, what do we do to help manage that so that we can be healthy for ourselves and for our families?
Hmm. Well, I think the first thing, like you just said, just say it, talk about it.
Mm.
When we express something, it kind of loses power.
Okay.
Okay, get it outside your body.
Mhm.
So just say, "Hey, I'm feeling kind of hot and queasy and all that," and your friend is going to say, "Hey, I'm feeling the same way." Right away, now you've normalized it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this way. So express it first, even if you have to journal it
Yeah.
or talk about it to yourself. But just get it outside your body, name it,
Okay.
and that's the first thing you can do.
Yeah.
The other thing to do is to remember, hey, this is because something's happening that I don't know anything about. And this is because I don't have a control over any of it.
Okay.
So I think the next thing to do is give yourself some control. So structure something in your life.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can control the pandemic, but I can control right now, this moment.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's the thing. Just bring it down to this moment. And that's another good thing you can do. One of the best ways to do that is to walk outside and just take a survey of your senses. Hey, right now I'm seeing things.
Hmm.
I'm seeing some flowers blooming right now.
Right.
And then I'm hearing some things. Yeah, I'm hearing some birds chirp. And then I'm smelling some things. I'm touching some things, feeling some things. And I might even be tasting some things.
Yeah.
If you're not tasting anything, put some cinnamon gum in your mouth, and then you'll be tasting
There you
something,
go.
right? So what you're doing is you're bringing it down to right here, right now, today. I don't have to worry about the pandemic. I can worry about right now, right now. And that just kind of gives me a little bit of control right
Hmm.
now, right now.
That's
Yeah.
good. I know that there are moments where I think I would describe what I'm feeling. I'm a dad of 3 little ones, right? And there are moments, I don't
Right.
know if it's like clinical anxiety, but I certainly would describe that I feel anxious, right? And a little
Sure.
bit out of control. There's people in the house, their
Sure.
kids are being
Yeah.
crazy or whatever. And I think I've identified that, hey, I'm feeling out of control,
Yes. Yes.
I feel the need to manage something in
Right.
life. So you
Yeah.
talked about what are some other healthy ways to,
hmm
to exercise some control or
Yeah,
to
sure.
create a healthy space
Sure.
for ourselves.
First of all, let me just say this, and I say this a lot to people. There's never one solution.
Okay.
There are 10.
Yeah.
There are 10.
There's
That's
lots of
great.
them.
Lots of them. Yeah. So another one is structure. Just go ahead and structure. Even if it's arbitrary, just structure. Okay, today I'm going to do these 10 things.
Okay.
I'm going to eat 3 meals. I'm going to drink 3 glasses of water. I'm going to walk 15 minutes. I'm going to sleep 8 hours tonight. I'm going to do a crossword puzzle. I'm going to read a half hour. Just give yourself some structure.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just give yourself some structure. If you're a list maker, make a list and check it off. And you can do this with your whole family. Hey, kids. Okay, today let's make a list of what we're going to do today.
Yeah.
And let's check it off. So that's structuring you. Structure gives us control and security.
Probably really helpful, especially for parents who are finding
Mm-hmm.
themselves at
Ooh,
home for an
yeah.
extended period of time with kids that
Yeah.
they're either not used to or certainly hadn't planned for.
Sure.
It'd
Yeah.
be easy to treat these 3 weeks like a giant vacation, stay in our PJs all day, which is fine, I guess. But you're
Yeah.
saying if we begin to feel ourselves that causing some anxiety, we can say, hey,
Right.
we're going to put it together a routine for the day. And
Right. Yes.
okay, that could be really
Yeah.
helpful.
It can be really helpful.
What
Yeah.
else?
And
Yeah.
maybe even put times to those. Another thing is, I think, we do want information, but control it.
Okay.
So you probably have a favorite news channel.
Right.
Watch it once or twice.
Yeah.
Don't fill yourself with that all day long.
Yeah.
Control that. We need information, but we don't need everybody's opinion.
Right.
That makes us anxious, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So control that. Challenge yourself today. Try something new.
Okay.
Those board games that have been sitting in your closet?
Right.
Get one out and master it today.
We played Life yesterday with my kids.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
don't know if I'd recommend
Hey,
that
you
exact
know
game
what?
because
I saw that in your Facebook, and I saw you had like 15 kids in your car.
I had 6 in my car. Yeah, there was some
Okay.
procreating going on in my game of
Okay.
life. But yeah, so playing some
Yeah.
board games.
Yeah, some things like that. Or, cook a recipe.
Yeah.
Or challenge yourself to do something different. My family will laugh when they see this because I've been challenging myself to do origami.
Okay.
So, hey, like fold some paper.
Yeah.
Oh, that can release some stress there.
That's great.
So anything
It's
like
tactile
that.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. So
Very cool.
that's, definitely. And, the other thing is start thinking about other people. Once we start thinking about other people, it really helps us
Yeah.
get the focus off ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, there are some other people out there that are in the midst of this. There are
Right.
nurses and your mail delivery person, your all kinds of people. So can you do something for someone? Wouldn't it be cool if you put a little note for your mail delivery person and say, hey, thanks for bringing my mail today.
Right.
I appreciate your working today, or anything like that. Or,
Yeah.
the old fashioned thing of writing someone a letter. Do you know how fun it is to get a letter in the mail?
Right.
Maybe especially if you've been isolated.
Right.
So, think it's outside of yourself. I had a good friend say to me that it was overwhelming to her, the needs of so many people right now.
Right.
And she said, I decided I can help one person.
Yeah.
We can all help one person. So focus on one person or one family.
That's good. I've heard someone say, from like a customer service standpoint, do for one person today what you wish you could do for everybody.
Yeah, I like
so that's a
that.
good way to
Yeah, that's a
not
good
be
way to do it.
overwhelmed by
Mhm.
the big problem.
Yes.
Yeah, getting outside of ourselves and thinking about others.
Right.
That's a good challenge for us to think, who in my life can I safely, connect with. And we've never been more connected in some ways, right? There's all kinds of
Right, right.
technological ways that we
Yeah,
can check in on one another as well.
yeah.
Anything else in your toolbox of tips and tricks?
Well, it's funny that we always tell people that are suffering with depression or anxiety, don't isolate.
Okay.
Now we're saying to everybody, isolate.
Isolate, right? Right. Stay in your
But
house.
yeah, I did hear this on the news even today. We're telling people to isolate physically, but not emotionally.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe we do just the opposite. Maybe we connect more emotionally than we even usually do.
Okay.
So maybe we do call those friends.
Yeah.
If you have a Facebook group or form one
Yeah.
and just make a pact that you're going to, check on each other every day before you know it, you're sharing some jokes and things like that
Right.
too. So
Right.
really be intentional about not isolating emotionally.
Okay.
Feel connected to people. And there's so many ways to do that now, isn't
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
No, that's really
Yeah.
good.
One thing occurs to me though, Rusty, is that sometimes some of us were probably already having a hard time just with life
Yeah.
before we started. This
Yeah.
all started. Maybe
Yeah.
we were already sick,
Right.
or we were already out of work, or we were already feeling financially strapped, or whatever. We have to realize we only have so much capacity in life.
Yeah.
And this maybe tipped the scale for some of us,
Yeah.
And so, first of all, just be really gentle with yourself
Mm.
and say, you know what? I can't do this right now. I'm going to have to take some extra care of myself.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe I'm not even a risk group, but I am going to quarantine myself because
Yeah.
I just really need to do that right now.
Yeah.
So just be really gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
And as I said when I began, if you've never reached out for help, it's a good time to do it
Yeah.
because we're available
Yeah.
and we can help you. And so maybe it is a time to reach out for help. Maybe it's the right time to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You that line actually, even as we were exchanging the dialogue
Mhm.
before we sat down together, of being gentle with yourself,
Mhm.
stuck out to me. Maybe that maybe that says something about my own self. But I wonder if it's more universal than that. That it's so easy to be self-critical and to should on. I've heard counselors
Oh,
about shoulding on
yeah.
myself.
Oh,
I should be doing
yeah.
this. I should be doing that. Hey, what do you actually need right now?
Mhm.
And being
Mhm.
kind. Can you say anything more when we feel like we should do something, or when
Mhm.
we start to feel guilty or overwhelmed by
Mhm.
what we can't do? How do we be kind? How do we kind of turn
Mhm.
those turn the volume of those voices down? Is there anything really
Yeah.
practical for being kind to ourselves, gentle
Yeah.
to ourselves?
Well, I think we know how to be kind and gentle to others.
Ah,
And so, say, if I was my best friend, what would I tell myself right now?
well, that's good.
Would I be willing to give myself a break right now if
Yeah,
I was my best friend? If I'd tell her or him to give himself a break?
yeah,
Most of the time, the answer is yes.
yeah,
So, kind of treat yourself like you would treat somebody else,
yeah,
And just say those words. I'm going to be gentle to myself today.
yeah.
I'm going to give myself a break. Even if you say, I'm going to give myself a break for 3 hours,
Right.
I'm just going to lay on the couch for
Yeah.
3 hours and
Yeah.
veg out on
Check out a little bit.
Andy Griffith or
Yeah,
whatever.
right. Right.
I don't
Now,
suggest you
now we
watch
know your
Outbreak right now.
We know
but
your guilty pleasure
I
now.
know.
Andy
That,
Griffith.
I'm just going to do something like just be gentle with myself. Yeah. It is a fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And I do believe that it's the one that we all need to practice more than maybe any
Yeah.
of them because I think we ignore it.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to share with our viewers and listeners today as we kind of wrap things up?
Yeah. I just want to
together?
emphasize, spiritual disciplines are so helpful.
Okay.
So helpful. So there are so many online resources for that.
Yeah.
Sunday, there were so many churches having services.
Right.
I tuned into like 3 different churches. It was great.
Yeah.
I did it 3 different times during the day. When I was feeling a little nervous, I went to YouTube and started listening to Christian music.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very helpful.
Right.
And do you have a line from a song or do you have a verse that's your favorite? Like post it, say it.
Yeah.
Mine is Spirit of the Living God, fall afresh on me. I don't know
Right.
how to sing that, Rusty, but I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure where it comes from.
Yeah,
But
right.
I say that's my nervous saying.
It's kind of like a breath. Some people call it a breath prayer. Like
It
you can just say it under
is.
your
It
breath when
is
you're
because it
feeling.
just settles me.
Mhm.
So anything like that, there are so many things. You can sign up right now for a Christian devotional, and they'll send it to you every single day.
Right.
Now's the time to do things like that.
Yeah. So instead of
Yeah.
setting our getting maybe every news update or alert,
Yeah.
rather subscribe to some things that are going to give you
Yeah.
prioritize the things that are going to give you hope and some peace. Not neglecting the reality around us, but
Sure.
intentionally saying,
Sure. Yeah.
hey, I need some things in my life
Yeah.
that will kind of calm me and give me hope.
Yeah. One thing we try to remind all people of, I don't care how old you are, you've already been through something hard in your life.
Yeah.
So think back. What did I go through that was hard? I often say, if we knew what was going to happen, we'll say, oh, I can't do that. And we look back and say, I did that.
Yeah.
So what was hard in your life? Remind yourself of that. Remind yourself how you got through that. Remind yourself how God had his hand on your back during those times. Just feel that.
Yeah.
And right now at New Creation, we're claiming Psalm 91.
Okay. What's it say?
And well, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I know the essence of it.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's fine.
I
Yeah,
can't
that's what I
do the
meant.
whole psalm,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you
No, I was trying
probably
to put
could,
you on the
Rusty.
spot. Yeah, that's fine.
But anyways, but I know Psalm 91 is a psalm of protection. When my son-in-law was in Iraq, everyone gave him Psalm 91. He wrote it. He had it on a bandana that he wore inside his helmet.
Yeah.
He saw it written on the walls of the buildings in Iraq. It is a psalm for soldiers.
Okay.
And so I know that in part of that, it describes you being in the shelter of his Most High.
Yeah.
And I think of it as a big eagle with his wings around you. And so I used to picture my son-in-law somewhere in Iraq with God just surrounding him with his wings like a big eagle.
Yeah.
So image like that. But read through Psalm 91. It is a great, great psalm of protection. You're being protected right now by God.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I think my final question for you, Kitty, that's all been incredibly helpful. How is New Creation responding to, people may be either concerned or afraid to come out, which we
Yeah.
wouldn't advocate people being afraid to do that necessarily, while they're being wise. But if people are looking for help, are there ways that they can do that without even in the privacy of their own home, maybe?
Yes, yes. Well, this is when we praise God for giving us a little bit of foresight.
Yeah.
About a year ago, we experimented with telecounseling.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Okay.
So we can counsel you from your phone. You don't need to come in the office. We can set that up for you to talk to a counselor from your phone. You
Okay.
just call us.
Okay.
And we will arrange that for you.
Okay.
We also are open.
Right.
At this phase, we're open.
Yeah.
But we are set to be open, and we're set to be counseling in your home, our homes. We plan to be connected.
Yeah.
And we can do it.
That's awesome.
So it's possible. Isn't that great?
It is great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Like I said, I think this is going to be really helpful for people. It's been helpful for me,
I hope so.
selfishly.
It's helpful for me to talk
Yeah.
about it too, because we're all feeling a little anxious, aren't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So thank you for your time. Our prayers for blessings over
Yes.
your counselors. I know that
Thank
sometimes
you.
the helpers need help too.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so we're grateful for you and your team.
Thank
and
you.
for the ways that you're there for our community. So thanks a whole bunch.
Thank you, Rusty.